Today we are going to be painting our batiks. Now we're going to be painting these using analogous colors. Remember, analogous colors are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So for this batik, I chose to do orange, red, violet, and violet. For my batik here, I am going to do yellow green, yellow, orange, and red orange. I chose 5 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. Now I've already started, and I started by mixing a yellow green and putting the primary color yellow. Now I think I'm going to mix orange, yellow orange, and red orange. So at your table you have a tray of the primary colors, and you have 3 clean brushes. These 3 brushes are each for one of the primary colors and nothing else. They are not for mixing, but this is going to be with yellow, this brush is only for blue, and this brush is only for red. So at a table you need to communicate and talk about which brush is for what, and you're not going to wash them or change them. I'll set off to the side. You're also each going to have a mixing tray, and this is where you're going to mix the secondary colors and the intermediate colors. You'll have a little brush, and that is for mixing your colors and for painting. You'll each have a paper towel to wipe your brush, to clean it, and water. So to start, I think I'm going to make my orange, as that's one of the analogous colors I'm using. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open my red and my yellow, and we want to keep these clean. We don't want any other colors in the yellow, in the blue, or in the red. That is why we're keeping these 3 brushes clean. So this brush is always going to be for yellow. To make orange, I'm going to start, and I'm actually going to scoop the paint. If you just take a little bit like this and try and mix a pile like that, it is not enough. You need to scoop it out. We need plenty of paint. Then I'm going to set that yellow brush down and grab my brush for red, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to scoop. Notice how I didn't put it in that yellow pile yet. I don't want to contaminate this brush. I want to keep it for only red. Put that back with the red, and now I'm going to take my mixing brush and my painting brush. Now I also want to point out how I started my first color at the corner of my palette instead of right in the middle, as we are going to be mixing a variety of colors. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take these 2 piles and make my orange. Now after mixing and mixing, you need to decide, does it look orange? Does it look too red? Does it look too yellow? And what do you need to add? This looks like a pretty good orange. I think in the video it probably looks a little bit more red-orange, but it truly is an orange. So I'm going to go ahead and start painting my orange. Now as you can see here, I've painted so that it has radial symmetry. So if you paint green here, if you paint yellow green here, then you have to paint it in every other quadrant. Same here. Also notice how I painted 2 different areas of yellow green instead of just one. Okay, so I'm going to start with my orange, and I think I'm going to do my orange, these stripes here. Staying inside the lines, going over the glue. The glue will wash out, so if you go over it, that's okay. Again, I'm going to do all 4 of the sections. If you just did one section at a time and then you go to another section, you're not going to be able to mix the exact same oranges, red oranges, yellow oranges as you did before. So that's why you want to do all of them at once. Taking my time, using plenty of paint. You cannot just add water to make it last longer and spread out faster, but you do need lots of paint. Now I think I'm going to do red orange, and I'm going to do yellow orange. So I think that I don't need to do any more. Now, I don't need to wash my brush because I could go ahead and make a yellow orange. So to make a yellow orange, all I need to do is add more yellow. Again, scooping so you have plenty of paint. And then I'm going to go ahead and mix it, making my yellow orange. Plenty of paint. Notice how I didn't make it in the whole thing. I can save the rest of that for my red orange. So now I have my yellow orange. I'm going to go ahead and paint these sections right here. Using plenty of paint, I'm going right up to the line so that when you are done painting, you should not see any white. Now since I did it here, I need to rotate it. You can take off those paper clips if they're in the way. And now I think I'm going to do one more area. Since I only have a couple colors left, I'm going to do this area yellow orange as well. And then I can finish with my red orange. Now I'm going to go ahead and make my red orange. So I'm going to add red. I'm going to mix that in, making a red orange. And I'm going to go ahead and paint a red orange. I think I'm going to paint it on the outside here. Notice how I'm going up all the edges. But you're going to keep going until everything is covered. then to finish, I'm going to grab yellow and put that in the middle. So I'm going to need to wash my brush. Now if you put it at the bottom, wipe it on the side. I don't want to see any dabbing, but wiping. And then you can use your paper towel to wipe anything off. And I can dip and I can grab right from the primary color. I don't need to put it on my mixing palette. Notice how I can't see very much white, and I am done using analogous colors.